Having all the answers and knowing the solution is not always the best way to be a friend. The question is, will you be there for them when you haven't got a clue?
It's time now for Off the Wall with award-winning journalist and Christian author Doug Wahl. Listen to what your life reveals about the Bible through essays and commentaries on the world we live in, the people we are, and the God we serve. Now from Wilmington, North Carolina, here's Doug Wahl.
My friend is a quiet and reserved man. Even though we've known each other for a while, I really don't know him well at all. His past tends to stay in the past. He's not one to open up. In fact, he believes that sharing problems is a sign of weakness. That's why I was so startled by a recent conversation. Without warning, my friend started to unload on me. He's going through a tough time right now. He's dealing with the type of stuff that would weigh on anyone. The details of his problems will not be mentioned here. That's in part to protect his privacy, but honestly, mostly it's because I don't really understand the details. You see, my friend has an issue that fortunately has never plagued my own life. Have you ever been there before? A friend comes to you with a problem that is totally foreign to you. It's out of left field, something that all of your years of experience have not prepared you for. And still it feels like the pressure is on, like you've got to be Sherlock Holmes cracking the case. At that time, I really felt like my friend was hoping that I would have some magical wand that I could just wave over and his problems would go away. You know, maybe he was expecting me to guide him to the path to safer ground or to show him where to change course to avoid the pitfalls that were ahead. Or maybe he was just looking for words of wisdom, and I had none. It was clear what needed to be done. The buck was not going to stop with me. It wasn't going to stop here. It had to be passed on to someone else. My friend simply chose the wrong guy. Clearly, there are people who are better qualified to help him. As he continued with his story, my mind was busy forming a list of names to pass along. There's Bob. There was Steve. Maybe Tom would understand. No, my friend didn't know any of these guys, but I could make an introduction. At that moment, I was willing to do anything to get out of the awkward situation. And then it happened, and I really wish I could somehow explain and convey this to you. My friend stopped talking, and he yielded the floor to me, but I didn't know what to say, so I paused. You know, it seemed like a nice thing to do before I said anything, kind of just pause to make it, maybe he'd think my hesitation was, a sign of just how much I cared. But then I caught his eyes as I was trying to figure out what to say, and as I looked at his eyes, this is the part I really wish I could explain to you. As I looked at his eyes, I got everything. Bam, I got it. You see, yes, my friend's problems were foreign. I didn't understand them, and frankly, even today, I really don't understand them. But his face, the face I was looking at that night, man, it was so familiar. It featured the same hurt, the same hopelessness, the same fear that more than on one occasion has struck me. Even if I didn't recognize the problem, I recognized the weight that his problems were causing in his life. The source may have been different and the timing may have been off, but looking at my friend, I saw myself and I understood that suffering is really universal. As the saying goes, a pain that is shared is a pain that is lessened. The Apostle Peter understood this. In his writings, he commissioned elders to simply care for those that they were entrusted over, to care for them. He didn't expect them to wave a wand or possess all the answers that would suddenly make a calamity disappear. In short, he just wanted them to be there for each other. Such a novel concept. I still plan on giving my friend the names of other people who may be able to help. But even if he doesn't want to reach out to them, to these strangers, he is still going to have me. He may have chosen the wrong guy, but he chose me just the same. Sometimes we are put in positions where all of our wisdom and experiences can help another individual navigate around the obstacles of life. Perhaps, though, the truest sign of a friendship is when we walk with someone, even though we don't understand and can't relate, and we don't know the twists and turns of the road ahead. I'm Doug Wahl in Wilmington, North Carolina. God bless.
You've been listening to Off the Wall on Desert Radio AZ.